Hello and welcome along to Mondo Chelloveck movies. My name is John and today I'm going to talk to you about these movies. So first up is Hell of the Living Dead on 4K. This is the Italian collection along there and it's spine number 35. More about that in a minute. So this is a great cover on this. It depicts everything you need to know about this movie. But do know you'll have fun with this movie. It's absolutely crazy. So there's your reversible art. And in here you have got the poster and the booklet over there, but you do get the Blu-ray and you also get the 4K. So this makes me think if there is a Blu-ray, a standalone Blu-ray of this one, and it's maybe about £5 cheaper, maybe you might want to get the 4K one, and then you've got everything in one package. You don't have to go looking for it at a later date. That's just my personal opinion. But it's region free as well, so that's good to hear. If anybody wants to import this, you can go right ahead. Now you do get a booklet in here. Zombie Creeping Flesh, that's the title that I really remember this movie by. This movie is absolutely crazy. You get everything in this movie. You get a zombie movie. You get hilarious dialogue, unintentionally hilarious. Must have 100 titles, this movie. Great artwork here. In fact, I didn't really realise there was that much artwork to do with this movie. That's a great cover there. I've never ever seen that cover before. Brilliant. So that's your booklet. You do get a poster here, double-sided poster. On one side you get the newly commissioned art, which is, on this one it's titled Virus. Got a virus on it instead of Hell of the Living Dead. Great cover that. And then you get Virus here, which is the alternative cover and title. That would have been good with Zombie Creeping Flesh on it. So this movie here is also in this collection. It's there. It's number 35 as well. Now this makes me think, if you wanted to, you could literally put that one back up there like that. If you wanted to, that's 35. I wouldn't do that personally. So now I've got this, I'm thinking, where would I put it? Because I'm not going to put this one next to that one. That would be a bit ridiculous. So just look a bit out of sync. So what I'm going to do with these ones, when they're going to get ones that are duplicated, more about that in a second, I'm going to be putting this one at the end of it. So this will be 35. And if one got duplicated down here, that's number 15. That'll go before this one in the 4K sections. I'm going to keep them all, the Blu-rays and the 4Ks, even though these ones are completely updated. This is a brand new 4K transfer, so the Blu-ray is better on here. It's better than the previous Blu-ray, which actually wasn't too bad. This came out in about 2017, I believe, and it's got all the extras on here are ported over onto that release as well, and they've got like 2 or 3 extra ones. I think it's 3. You get your booklet in there, and you get an alternative cover there, which is that. I didn't realise it was that one. I thought it was another one. But this movie is exceptionally fun. That's what I can say about it. Yeah, it's very gory as well. I'm really surprised this is one of these ones. I always thought it was a video nasty, and I don't think it was. I think it was put on the list of maybe a section 3, but not even getting on a section 3. I know there's a large amount of stuff cut out of it before it even got a home video. So the one you would have got as a pre-sale would have been hacked to bits anyway. Now this movie here is, like I say, it is crazy beyond belief. The stuff that happens in this movie is, you've got to see it to believe it. Halfway through it changes. This person here, she goes in the jungle and she has this sort of jungle adventure. Becomes maybe like a cannibal movie. So this person here has got this idea that she thinks if she dresses this way, that the people in the cannibal the cannibals, they will accept her. Well, you know, it's just an excuse to look like that. Wow. But it's ultra gory. This movie's got some great. This zombie here is ridiculous. This zombie kid has got to be seen to be believed. And no, I honestly can't recommend this movie highly enough. So this is a brand new 4K with HDR. And you can tell it when it goes in the jungle. The greenery of the jungle is really stand out. The blood as well, the colours are fantastic. Now, when I watched the the original Blu-ray of this, which is quite a decent Blu-ray if I'm honest. It's better than I remembered it to be. There's quite a few bits of scratches on the print, and the print itself is pretty good. It's pretty, you know, pretty colourful. But this one really blows out of the water. Now what it has got in here, which I did watch, is called Attack of the VHS Zombies. Now this is a sort of documentary. It's a bit like the Video Nasty's box set on the DVD you got from Nucleus Films. It's the people from there are actually making a thing about the VHS days, and the companies behind the VHS is like Intervision and Vipco. It's about half an hour long. It's an absolutely brilliant documentary. It's one of the best ones I've seen recently on these extras for this disc. I'll show you what is on the back of there. You can read that for yourself. And that's the synopsis of the movie. It's just think of this movie more as a comedy. You'll be amazed. You'll see all the rip-offs of Dawn of the Dead, the music especially. You'll see there's just so many ways that this movie has ripped loads of movies off. It's directed by Bruno Mattei, and I can't recommend it highly enough. Like I say, that the picture quality is beautiful. The extras, the bits and bobs you get with it is brilliant. The posters, the actual presentation, you get the 2 discs in it. And this is for £25. Now sometimes when you get a brand new 4K from a major studio, and you literally get for £25, you get this and a cover and one disc for £25, and for £25 you're getting all of this stuff, and it might be even cheaper in a sale. You never know if it gets to that point with a slip on it. But highly recommend this movie, and I can't wait to see what other movies they got coming out, which I'll talk about a little bit more after I've talked about House on the Edge of the Park. This is region free as well, and in here you get this amazing slipcover. These slipcovers are absolutely brilliant. What they're doing with 88, they really know how to make a set good. This is spine number 78, so that sits round about there. There's Cannibal Holocaust. I think Cannibal Holocaust is 79, and this is your alternative artwork there. There's what you get inside the special edition, the special features, should I say. That's about the movie there. And this movie here has got Dolby Vision on as well. Now I can tell you that this movie looks sensational. The Blu-ray from Severin looked amazing, but this one here, I've never seen anything look quite like it. I was blown away, but I thought it would look obviously better than the Blu-ray, but not much. But this is like a huge bound above that. The colours and the black levels are just next level. I mean, yes, this movie isn't any Top Gun Maverick. It's not shot in today's stock, but for when it was shot, this movie looks exceptional. You get, as you get with the other disc, you get the 4K, and you also get the Blu-ray with different artwork on. Great artwork, that. And I was just so amazed that this movie looked at this good. I honestly didn't think it was going to look this good. This is one of the best 4Ks I've seen of a movie of this ilk, this previously banned Video Nasty, which is, I watched it the other day, it is fully uncut. Now when I watched it, I remember this movie quite well, but I didn't remember it completely. And I didn't remember the kind of the plottiness and the twistiness of the plot that it has. I thought it was a straight out and out home invasion movie, which it is. But there's a bit more to it than that, which I don't want to go into for spoilers. But I've got to say, David Hess's performance in here is exceptional. And by that I mean he's so believable as the character in here. He's vicious beyond belief, and he really has got, he's just got a great performance. In fact, they're all quite good in this one. And the cast in it, there's more to it than just a straightforward home invasion. But it is a very nasty movie. It's very mean-spirited. It's got some bits of humour as well, unintentional humour, which, you know, I found funny, but I don't know if anybody else will. But this movie here is a welcome addition to the UK, because, like I say, it's uncut. I never ever thought this movie would be fully uncut, but it is. So with the movie, you get a booklet here, which is, yeah, I'm sure that's original artwork there. I love that cover there. This is another one that's got some great artwork in it as well. These booklets are quite you know, word heavy, which is good. If you want to find out lots of stuff, you do find there's loads of special features on here in this movie. And I think this is Ruggero Deodato, who made this movie, who also made Cannibal Holocaust. I think this is a movie made after Cannibal Holocaust. This is a movie that he made as a kind of his version of Last House on the Left, kind of. And you can see it when you look at the movie, but he's changed a few of the plot twists in it. So you get the poster of this brand new artwork. Like, it's funny because even if I had the space, I don't think Deborah would like any of this on the wall. Imagine it just, you know, hello everybody, this is the, you know, this is the living room, and they're saying this in the middle of the living room. Wow. So this is a double dip for me, even though I do collect this collection. So even if they brought out something that I really didn't want, I would have to collect it for this collection. Are you listening? Iron Master, which is over there, which I do want to get back to. It was actually the worst one I've ever seen in this whole collection. But I'm going to revisit it again to see if it was literally as bad as I thought it was. And when I mean bad, I don't mean good bad, I just mean bad. So this one is a double dip from here. Now, this is the Severin US one. And the best thing about this is, if you think, well, I've got this one, what do I do? Do I keep them both? Do I get rid of them? This has got a great presentation of the Blu-ray on here. It's just as good as the Blu-ray on this one. But what you get in this one, you do get, which you don't get in that set, you get the soundtrack there. It's a brilliant soundtrack. I love the soundtrack in this movie. In fact, I didn't realize how much I liked it until I watched it. You also get this documentary, about 70-minute documentary called Deodato Holocaust. So that's great. And also the extras in here, there's the track listing for the CD. I think there's about 6 tracks on it. And the funny thing is about this movie is that the extras on here are completely different. None of the extras, even the commentaries, are different, which you don't usually get. You would usually get something ported over, but you get nothing ported over. So this is kind of a brand new release in that respect. But also in this one, you get this soundtrack, you get this feature-length documentary. So you get those 2 discs. So this one is if this one goes down in price, it might be one that you want to invest in, because obviously if you're a completist of this movie, this one for me is a welcome sort of I would obviously watch the 4K all the time, but I would go back to this for the soundtrack and that exclusive extras, and also the hour-long documentary, a 70-minute documentary. So an amazing release all around. I can't honestly tell you, if you're not a fan of this subject matter, then you might want to give this a swerve. It's pretty brutal, if I've got to say it. And it's one of those ones, when you were talking about video nasties, never thought it would ever see the light of day. That's how sort of, I'm not saying it's not really graphic, but what it is, there's very uncomfortable scenes in it, to say the least. So speaking of that one, that's House on the Edge of the Park. So you might think to yourself, well, what else is coming out? There's 2 titles that I do know are coming out. The first one is Spine Number 14, 1981's Burial Ground. I love this movie. It's got to be one of my favourite zombie films. It's just, I can't get enough of it. When the first time I saw it, I just thought, I can't believe how much I think this movie is that good. And the other thing to do with this, I remember that cover. I used to have a Blu-ray from, was it Blue Underground? Had that? Someone like that, Code Red. And this, I don't know about the extras on the disc yet, but what it has got in here, it's got a grindhouse version of it, where they sort of took, before they cleaned it up, they had a version where they just struck it off the negative, and it's got scratches all over it if you want to watch it in that fashion. I don't know if that'll make it onto the 4K, it might do. But this movie here it looks, because I got it on a previous Blu-ray, it looked very washed out, and I thought, it's just one of them films that never looks good. But I watched it on, did I get the Scream Factory one, which was pretty good. Now this one here is the best one for me for colours, and I think the Scream Factory is a little bit sharp, had a lovely slipcover. But this one was the best one, so this is one I decided to keep because it's in the collection as well. But this movie is an absolutely essential movie for me for watching, and so bad it's good, but this is so good, so bad it's brilliant movie. This, I can't tell you how much I love this movie. So that's directed by Andrea Bianchi, I think that's right. I've got to admit though, the cover in it, it's not my favourite cover to do with this movie. There's plenty of other better covers out there. But the 4K of this is going to be one that I'll just get immediately, and I would imagine that the picture quality on here is pretty good. It's not bad at all, but I can't wait to see what they do with it. I don't think it'll be House on the Edge of the Park good, but I think it'll be a very, because it's got some great covers. A lot of it happens outside before it gets dark. Actually, there's a lot of darkness scenes towards the end of the movie, so if they get the HD on it, will that make this movie sort of come to life as well. So there's Burial Ground coming up, and there's also in the collection previously is Zombie Holocaust. So this movie is from the original camera negatives, so that makes me think if I've got them, then I can maybe bring this movie more to life. This movie it's a great movie. It is a previously banned video nasty, and I think all of these movies here are well worth a watch. Maybe House on the Edge of the Park is the one that might put people off a bit because the subject matter isn't that good, but this was released way back in 2015. It's spine number 5. Now what will happen is when Burial Ground and Zombie Holocaust come out in the 4K, they'll obviously get the option, a bit like Criterion, to go back to the original these things. So if you want to keep them in line, you can. But I think it would, for me, that one looks good because all clear cases, and it would look a bit out of fashion. But you know, it's up to yourself whichever way you want to present the collection. But I'm really looking forward to these two. Bearing in mind, it's not the fact that they're going to get released in 4K, it's the fact that they're absolutely brilliant movies, especially this one. Out of all of these movies I've talked about today, I think this is my favourite one. And the young lad in here, although he's not a young lad, Peter Bark, has to be seen to be believed. What it was they had a storyline in here that's a little bit, you know, strange to say the least. And obviously they couldn't get a kid to film it, so they got this fella, Peter Bark is called, not his real name. And he looks like a young boy, even though he was probably about 30 at the time, although he looks like a 7-year-old. This is his character. He's well renowned in the sort of horror community. There's everybody knows the Peter Bark, the person from this movie. He's such a creepy little kid. Wow. So I can't recommend these movies highly enough. 88 are doing an exceptional version of these on 4K. And it's great to see these movies finally. I can't believe I've even got these in my hands. If you told us 20 years ago I'd be doing this, I would have laughed in your face. So, thanks for watching. You take care, and I'll see you on the next video. Cheers.